What's going on, guys? Bossboy6 here, back to your video, and today, here to give you guys my NFL Week 13 predictions. My God, how are you already almost in January? It is beyond me at this point. Like, it kind of says a lot more about this year than the season itself, but yeah, this has been a very interesting season so far for the NFL, and yeah, we're starting to slowly figure out what teams are going where, like what teams are good, what teams are bad, so on and so forth. And yeah, I still don't really know what to think about this whole season because it's just chaos everywhere. But well, all I know is that Thanksgiving is in a couple days. How the hell is it almost Thanksgiving? Your guess is as good as mine. So yeah, I'm here to provide you with some predictions here. And without further ado, let's get into the games and happy holidays, everybody. Hope you have a good Thanksgiving because there's three things associated with Thanksgiving: turkey, Survivor Series, and NFL games. So let's get into those in question. Starting off with the first Thanksgiving game, we've got an NFC North matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Both these teams came away with the victory this past Sunday, but two completely different sides, if you will. The Packers dominated the Minnesota Vikings in a big defensive game there. And again, Green Bay, I feel like they're a week-to-week team, really. One day they'll look really dominant. Next thing you know, they look like shit. And that's kind of been them the entire time. Like, they dominated the Steelers, but lost to they lost to the Panthers. They dominated the aforementioned Lions and the Commanders, and then they lost to the Browns. So it's kind of a weird season that the Packers have had. Jordan Love didn't really do a whole lot. They were without Josh Jacobs, but it seems like he's ready to go for this upcoming week. And they were still without some key pieces. Matthew Golden's out with injury. They're starting to lose some guys, unfortunately. But that defense was doing really damn good against McCarthy. He got sacked, I think, like 5 times. Michael Parsons got 2 sacks in that game. It was just overall a great defensive game against the Vikings. Meanwhile, the Lions, on the other hand, well, Green Bay should have warned you how the Giants were going to play because, man, it did not look good at all for the Lions against the Giants. Like, you want to know how bizarre that game went? Jameis Winston had one of the best games of his entire career. Like, he looked like a top 5 QB in the league this past week against Detroit, which is bizarre to think. Jared Goff has not been playing well lately. Again, I don't know if he's just got like family stuff going on, or I have no idea. But the offense hasn't been clicking. Excuse me. I'm going to say Brown hasn't been doing anything. Like, I don't know. I feel like this team is lacking something. Like, I don't know what it is, but this team needs something in order to get their shit together because they're currently out of the playoffs, I believe, right now, which is bizarre to think, but they'll find a way to get in. And I will say, had Jahmyr Gibbs not had that big touchdown run to start off overtime, then I don't know if Detroit would have won that game personally, but yeah, I don't know how this game is gonna go because again, it looks like Green Bay may have Detroit's number here because the first week they played, Green Bay beat the shit out of them, and that was in Green Bay, and this is happening in Ford Field. You know what? I'm sorry, Detroit fans, but I'm going to have to go with Green Bay with this one. I don't know. I just feel like their defense is going to clamp down on the Lions this week. I don't know. Just Detroit has not been playing well lately, and they've been getting away with some ugly wins and bad losses. So, yeah, I don't know how to fully feel about this game. Sorry, guys. I'm very tired. But, yeah, I'll go with Detroit, or I'll go with the Packers with this one. But if Detroit does win, I wouldn't be shocked. But I don't know, just how they've been playing lately, it's not been pretty. Not been pretty at all. Following that, we have a game that looks interesting on paper considering how both teams won this past week. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Dallas Cowboys, aka battle of the two most insufferable franchises as of lately. Well, I'd say fan bases lately, but KC's fans have not been as vocal lately, more than Dallas has, but to each their own, I guess. But both these teams came away with some big victories this past Sunday. With the Chiefs, they got off beating the Indianapolis Colts, where it wasn't looking good at all for the Chiefs, but they came back with a down. I think they were down, like 20-6 going into halftime, and they roared back and won 23-20 going into the half. And I will say, while Mahomes has not been playing well lately, again, that offense is still pretty barren, if you ask me. That defense came in clutch. They stopped Jonathan Taylor that entire time. And they were just able to clamp down, and they were forcing Daniel Jones to throw, and they were just making big stops. And they came in clutch when they needed to come in clutch. Speaking of comebacks, good God, Dallas. I'll talk about this more when I talk about Philly, but man, Dallas, that was not a pretty first half that you guys had. Down 21-0 going into the half. And then they decided to say fuck it and just basically make Philadelphia their bitch, essentially. And I'll say this about Philly when I get to them here in a little bit, but Dallas came back and won. They actually beat like a legitimate good team this season. And that was like one of the best games Dak Prescott's played this entire season. Like, he actually didn't play good against the bad team. He actually played good against a good team, which kind of feels like a rarity nowadays. But yeah, it's being played in Texas Stadium or AT&T Stadium. So I'm not 100% sure how this game's gonna go, but based on who I thought was more impressive, man, I'm going to go with the Chiefs. I don't know. I just have a feeling KC's going to pull a victory away from Dallas in this game here. If Dallas wins, I wouldn't be so shocked. But again, that defense is still battered, and KC's defense is really damn good. They just don't really have an offense per se. So I feel like it's going to cancel out each other as well. But will it be able to stop George Pickens? We'll have to see. So I'm going to go with the Chiefs, but I wouldn't be opposed to Dallas winning either. And then for the Thursday night game, hopefully we actually get a good Thursday night game. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Baltimore Ravens. The Bengals, well, you looked somewhat decent against the Patriots, and then everyone decided to die, essentially. T. Higgins got knocked out with a concussion. Joe Flacco's getting banged up, especially with that AC joint. And the Bengals tried, and they were winning at one point, but they just couldn't stop New England when it mattered. So, yeah, the Bengals right now, they're basically eliminated from the playoffs. And if it were me personally, I wouldn't even bother putting Burrow in, really, because there's no point in saving the season, really. Meanwhile, the Ravens, on the other hand, we don't want to talk about that first half, do we? No, we really do not. How the hell were you struggling against Tyrod Taylor and the Jets? The Jets. I don't know, and I don't want to know. But, nevertheless, the Ravens, it's kind of interesting that the Ravens' defense was complete and total ass. And then once Lamar came back from injury, the offense has struggled and the defense was doing really damn good. So, kind of a weird flip-flop there. So, I don't know how that really works, but it is what it is, I guess. Nah, man. See, I don't know how to fully feel about this game, really. But considering that they are currently in the divisional lead right now, I'm going to go with Baltimore with this one. This could be another fun game because these two teams have been having some fun matchups lately. But I can see the Bengals losing this game because, again, their defense just does not show up. Even though their defense didn't play that terrible against New England, they did get a pick six on Drake May. But, yeah, it's this game's not looking all that great for or for the Bengals. So I'm going to go with the Ravens for this one here. Then we get the Black Friday game for Friday. We have a bit of an interesting matchup here. We've got the Chicago Bears versus the Philadelphia Eagles. The Bears came away with a sneaky close victory from another Pennsylvania team, this time against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Caleb Williams had himself a pretty solid game. I am still worried about that defense because they are still out with some guys. But TJ Moore had himself a pretty good game. He had 2 touchdowns. And Williams has been improving, which is more you could say about his rookie season. But it looks like Ben Johnson's here to stay. That much I will say. And they are still leading the North right now, which who would have thought that the Bears were going to be leading the North right now? Not me. But yeah, Chicago's they're looking pretty solid right now, all things considered. Philadelphia, on the other hand, how the fuck do you blow a 21-0 lead with that offense in the second half? This has been happening all fucking season. This has been happening every single game, it feels like. You can't play a full 60 seconds. Your offense shows up one quarter and it doesn't the other. Find a perfect medium. You gotta find a medium. You got to play 60 fucking minutes. You can't just half-ass it and be like, okay, I'm done. Unless you're blowing a team out. That's a different thing. When you're playing against Dallas, you gotta play a full 60 seconds. It makes no fucking sense why this team does that, man. And it's been happening all goddamn season. Kevin Patullo needs to be shot out of a fucking cannon into the sun for all I care. And that defense, what the hell happened to that defense? I thought that defense was supposed to be good. But apparently it wasn't because Dak Prescott, yeah, he threw a pick, but he was able to throw moonballs to fucking George Pickens the entire time. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. They need to get the run game going, but Saquon fumbled. They had 2 costly turnovers that only ended in 3 points, thankfully. But good God, dude, this makes no sense why this team does it. I want to pick the Bears because they at least got a victory. But I have a feeling that Philly's going to come back with a lot of rage. But based on who I thought was more impressive, I'm going to go with Chicago with this one, even though I think Philly's going to win the game. I'm picking Chicago surely out of spite because, I'm sorry, but if Philly's going to be doing that all season, they're not a Super Bowl contender in my eyes. Like, this team with that much talent should not be struggling this fucking much. Like, if they lose games in close fashion, that's fine. That's one thing. But when you have a 21-0 lead in the first half and you can't do shit in the second, I'm sorry, that speaks fraudulent to me. So, I'm going with Chicago, but I wouldn't be shocked if Philly wins. Alright, so going to the Sunday games, there's not a whole lot of games here to talk about, but there is quite a few here. So, without further ado, let's get into the first Sunday game between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Jersey Jets. I guess a tank bowl, I'm not 100% sure. All I know is that this game is not going to be good. The Falcons, well, you beat the Saints, but who fucking cares? Who cares about either team at this point? Kirk Cousins had a decent game at best, but the Falcons are bad this year. I thought they were good. They looked good. I don't know what happened to their pass rush, but that defense just has not produced anything since beating Buffalo, and it just does not make any sense at all. I do not understand it whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Jets, they're the Jets. Do I really need to say anything else? No, not really. I guess Atlanta will win, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Jets win. Nobody cares about these two teams. They're both irrelevant. You know it. I know it. So move on. That's literally it. I have the Falcons winning, but they'll probably lose because it's the Falcons. Following that, we have the LA Rams versus the Carolina Panthers. The Rams, holy shit, they beat the hell out of the Buccaneers this past Sunday. And my God, that defense looks so fucking good. That is such a damn good defensive unit. Emmanuel Forbes has turned his career around after stinking it up in Washington. And if Stafford doesn't win the MVP this season, then I don't know what to think, because it's really between him, Taylor, and May at this point. And people are like, oh, give it to Drake May. No. I feel like Stafford deserves it more, but then people will cry foul about it. It's like, who fucking cares? It really doesn't matter. It's not like it's your firstborn child, but anyways, this is the same league that gave an MVP to a kicker in the 80s, for Christ's sake. So it is what it is, but Matt Stafford, they played a damn near perfect game, essentially. And that's all I really need to say. Meanwhile, Carolina, oh my good God in hell. What in the blue hell was that on Monday? That was a terrible performance they had against the Niners. And look, I understand that the Niners have a decent defense because Robert Saleh is a defensive genius. But good fucking God, you had 3 interceptions on Brock Purdy and you only got 3 points out of it? Jesus Christ. Bryce Young did not look good. He had 2 terrible interceptions. Rico Dowdle wasn't getting anything going. Terrell McMillan, when he was getting the ball, was looking decent. And Xavier Legette's just kind of there. But good Lord, man. This is why the Panthers don't scare me at all. And the fact that they may be able to win the division because Tampa's basically fucked is beyond insane to me. But yeah, they're going up against yet another NFC West team. And this stretch of games for the Panthers is going to be looking really, really, really rough. So I'm going with the Rams here. I don't see a reason why the Panthers should win this game and why the Rams should lose this game. But yeah, the Rams are just too much of a unit right now. They're on a roll, and that's all I can really say. They honestly look like a Super Bowl contender. They really do. And honestly, if they win, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Alright, following that, we've got the Arizona Cardinals versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Cardinals, well, you went in overtime against Jacksonville, I guess. I don't really know. The Cardinals are bad this year, but at least they're being competitively terrible. It looks like they're going to be moving on from Kyler Murray and having yet another quarterback coming up in the draft, maybe. But the Cardinals right now, they're just another mid to below average team. They have been their entire existence, basically. And that's all I got to really say about Arizona. They're just having yet another Arizona Cardinal season. That's all I got to really say about it. Meanwhile, Tampa, yeah, like I said with the Rams, they're basically fucked. They got their asses kicked on Sunday against the Rams. And it sucks, too, because I wanted it to be a good game, but yet it was another fucking blowout. They couldn't do anything on offense. Baker just looked destroyed out there. He's now out with a shoulder injury, it looks like. They had Teddy Bridgewater starting games. It's not looking good for them at all. Like, Ibuka did nothing at all that entire game. Godwin got in, but he only got, 2 catches the entire time? They could not get anything going at all. And it sucks too, but it's unfortunately how the NFL works. So, yeah, the Cardinals have a chance to win this game, but I don't know, it's being played in Tampa. You know what? I'm going to give it to Arizona. I think since Baker is out, I think the Bucs are fucked. Because, again, you have Teddy Bridgewater starting games in 2025. It's not looking good. It is not looking good at all. And therefore, I'm going to give the victory to the Cardinals here. Following that, we have an AFC South matchup. We've got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Tennessee Titans. The Jags, I don't know how to think about this team. This team I do not understand. Trevor Lawrence is an anomaly, to say the least. He had 3 interceptions, but also had 3 touchdowns. Again, I don't get it. I don't want to get it, but it is what it is. But they got the win, but again, this team just doesn't make any sense to me, man. They literally do not make any sense to me whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Titans, I mean, you made it close against Seattle, but that was because Seattle was dicking around the whole game. But Cam Ward actually played a solid game. He only got sacked 4 times, which is pretty impressive considering how that defense is. But the Titans are terrible this year. It's not really all Cam Ward's fault. I mean, what the fuck can he do? He's got no O-line. He's got no offense. The Titans don't have a defense. And Cam was just put in a terrible situation. So he's trying to make the best with what he can. He's trying to turn chicken shit into chicken salad, but it's not doing anything. So, yeah, the Jags should win this game, but I have a weird feeling they might lose. But I'm going to give it to Jacksonville here. The Titans are just that bad of a team that I could see them losing, but I don't know. Jacksonville's a weird team, man. They're a weird team. So, yeah, I'm going to give it to Jacksonville, but I'm not 100% confident in my choice. Following that, we got the San Francisco 49ers for the Cleveland Browns. The Niners, well, I got done talking about their performance against the Panthers. Had a very ugly game. Like, they played very ugly football. Like, CMC was doing well. And that was mainly about it because, my God, Brock Purdy looked fucking bad in that first half. 3 interceptions. He was literally trying to give the game away, but Carolina just couldn't do shit. That defense does look really solid with how many rookies and how many third stringers they have on that team. But Robert Saleh is doing the best with what he's given, so I'll give him credit for that. But, yeah, that was not a good performance they had last night, but they got the win because Carolina is, well, Carolina. So, yeah, there's that. But, anyways, they're taking on the Browns, who had a somewhat respectable game against the Raiders, but then again, it was the Raiders. And I will say this, Shedeur didn't play terrible. Like, he had a way better game than he had the week prior, but that's not saying anything. Like, this is the guy who had the worst passer rating I've ever seen, and he somehow had a decent enough game. He didn't play great. He had a couple decent throws, so he's got some potential. And he's actually the first Browns quarterback since 1995, since coming back into the league, to win their first starting game, which is pretty impressive. Yeah, Baker Mayfield didn't even win his first starting game, which is bizarre to think. But yeah, Shedeur, I mean, if he's going to play decent, it's something, I guess. Like, they've got a bunch of rookies. They got a bunch of guys. They got a bunch of rookies that, might be, might be good for the future, but I'm not 100% sure about long-term, really. So, at least they're trying to build a future, but I don't know how it's going to really pan out, especially when you have Haslam and Groper Cleveland on your roster, so there's that. But, even though the Browns did sack Geno Smith 10 times, I don't know if they're going to they might get Purdy a few times in this game, but it depends on how Shedeur is going to play. And I don't know if he's going to play well with that defense. So I'm going to give it to the Niners here. I could honestly see the Browns winning this game, but I think the Niners just have to have a lot going for them right now. That I don't think that Cleveland's going to win this game, but it might be sneaky close because these two teams usually play some close games here and there. So I'm going to give it to San Fran, but I wouldn't be too opposed if Cleveland does win this game. Following that, we have another AFC South matchup. We've got the Houston Texans versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Texans with a big win over the Buffalo Bills this past Thursday. And it's kind of funny to think that if the Texans had an actual offense, like if they had an offense like the Rams or like the Lions, or like having really damn good offense, they would honestly be the best team in the league right now because that defense is so damn good. Like, Josh Allen was in hell that entire game, and Daniel Hunter and especially Will Anderson was just having a field day with 8 sacks on the day for Josh Allen. It was absolutely insane. They were just having a damn good time all around, and they came away with a big victory. Now, I'm willing to bet C.J. Stroud's going to be playing this upcoming Sunday against Indy, but we're still kind of, the verdict's kind of waiting for him. Again, they still don't really have an offense. Their O-line's not that great still, but that defense is literally carrying this team. David. Yeah, that defense is carrying this team. Meanwhile, the Colts, missed opportunity. That's all I gotta really say about Indy against the Chiefs. It was just a missed opportunity. Jonathan Taylor did not do anything at all that game. He was getting clamped. Daniel Jones was forced to throw, and he did have some decent moments, but he didn't really play the best of games, really. But they had a 20-6 lead going into halftime, and they just could not do anything on offense, and they couldn't stop Casey's offense at all that game. And my problem with that was that the play calling was being a little too conservative. Like, I understand you're going up against the Chiefs and a really damn good defense, but the play calling kind of did screw Indy over in the outset of things. But you know what? You were going up against a damn good defense, and again, there was no way that the league was going to have the Chiefs go 5-6 and be out of the playoffs. That would just not happen. But I mean, this is going to be a tough stretch for Indy, and if that's going to determine how their seasons are going to be going, then they're kind of screwed if you ask me. So, I could honestly see the Colts losing this game because the Texans' defense is just so damn good. So, you know what? I'm going to go with the Texans with this one. I think their defense is going to win them this game here. If the Colts win, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I could see the Texans winning this game because that defense is just so damn good. So, yeah, sorry Colts fans, but I just think Houston's defense is going to be too much for Daniel Jones and Jonathan Taylor. So, yeah, I'm going to have Houston win, but I'm still not 100% certain on it. All right. Oh, boy. Next up, we got the Saints-Dolphins. Who fucking cares at this point? Who cares about these teams? The Saints, they lost to the Falcons. Blake Grupe got canned. He's now off of the team. I just saw that Cade York is now going to be on their kicker. And they're potentially getting Justin Tucker. Yeah, Justin Tucker. You know who got released from the Ravens because he turns out he might be a piece of shit? Yeah. This doesn't really surprise me considering New Orleans church history. Look it up. Or don't if you want to spare your sanity. But anyways, yeah, the Saints, they're terrible right now. That's all I got to really say about them. Meanwhile, Miami, they're trying to make something out of their season, but this is yet another lost season. They're probably going to win this game. They just got done off of a bye, and yeah, they're going to win. Not much more needs to be said. Who really cares about both these teams at this point? Nothing more, nothing less. Then we get to the 3 o'clock games. So next up we have is the Minnesota Vikings versus the Seattle Seahawks. A Sam Darnold revenge bowl, ? The Vikings got their ass kicked by Green Bay. And my fucking God, J.J. McCarthy is fucking terrible. I'm sorry, but my God, this guy, first of all, is cringy as shit because of his whole 9 gimmick. And he just sucks at playing football. Like, he is not developing at all. Like, this guy is making Justin Jefferson look like a complete fucking jabroni. Like, they are wasting his prime in Minnesota. Like, it's unbelievable that Jay Jettas is getting wasted. With how you get wasted? Like, I just don't understand that. But yeah, Minnesota couldn't do shit. That's all I really need to say. Meanwhile, the Seahawks, I've been saying this for a while now, man. They need to finish out games because you can't have the Titans just kind of roll back into the game and expect them to not make it a close game because they need to quit doing that. But they did win the game, so that's all that matters. But my God, JSN is so fucking good. Like, it's between him and Jonathan Taylor for offensive rookie or offensive player of the year because holy shit, he might get 2,000 yards this season, which is almost absurd to think about. But yeah, the Seahawks right now, they got a lot of stuff going for them right now. You know, the defense is really good. The offense is pretty solid, even though it is a little bit one-dimensional with JSN. So they really don't have anything left to lose in this game. So I'm going to go with Seattle with this one. Minnesota, they're just fucked. They're fucked beyond belief. You don't really have a good quarterback. You got, again, McCarthy had to play the bare minimum, and they would be okay. But my God, he can't even play the bare minimum. He's just ass. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Seattle with this one. Not much more I need to really say about it. Next up, we have an AFC West matchup between the Las Vegas Raiders and the LA Chargers. The Raiders, Geno Smith got sacked 10 times. That's all you really need to say about it. The Raiders are terrible. Not really a whole lot needs to be said. Chip Kelly got fired. There's that. At least he got fired. But yeah, no, the Raiders are terrible. It looks like Pete Carroll's a one and done. Looks like Geno Smith's a one and done. And that's all I really need to say about it. Meanwhile, the Chargers, hey, they finally got a bye week, so at least some guys are going to be back from the depths of injury hell, but that's besides the point. But yeah, the Chargers right now, they're struggling, but they're just injured, man. If this team was fully healthy, then they will probably be a lot better than they look. And hell, might even win the division, but unfortunately, that's not the case here, but I've got Chargers winning. This really shouldn't be a game whatsoever, unless LA decides to shit their pants. But I got the Chargers winning. No harm, no foul. Not much more needs to be said. Now, this game is going to be very interesting. We've got the Buffalo Bills versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Bills coming off of a pretty heartbreaking loss to the Houston Texans. And look, I know some Bills fans are upset. They're pissed off. They're not happy. They blame New England for some reason because, oh, they have a soft schedule. Motherfucker, the Bills have an easier schedule than the Patriots, first of all. And I've even seen some Bills fans on Twitter be like, look, we've got problems, and they're just not addressing it. Like, well, we're not. Allen's being too reliable with the ball. Let's give it to James Cook. Well, James Cook's not doing all that well. Let's give it back to Allen. Oh, well, Allen's still being a liability, and so on and so forth. This team needs to have better coaching, and they need to have some offense. That's literally all that they need. And look, Bills fans are just like, look, we just got our ass kicked. That's all like that they really need to say. They went up against a really damn good defense in Houston, and Josh Allen didn't play well. That's it. It's okay to criticize your star quarterback, guys. I mean, fucking Jared Goff's been getting slandered for years at this point. But yeah, the Bills right now, they're in a tough stretch of games because they're going up against the Steelers, who just lost to the Bears. And I'm not sure if Rodgers is playing this game. It might be Mason Rudolph, but Rudolph has been moving the offense pretty effectively here. Unfortunately, Jaylen Warren had, I think he's out with an injury, unfortunately. And it's not looking all that great for Pittsburgh right now because they, unfortunately, are losing the division to the Ravens. So yeah, there's that. So, who knows? This could be a back-and-forth game, really. And I would like to see how the Bills play against the Steelers' defense. But I am going to go with the Steelers with this one. I don't know. I just don't think Buffalo just has what it takes. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers lose this game because it's the Steelers. But yeah, both these teams are kind of struggling right now. I would say the Bills more so than the Steelers, but yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if the Steelers are going to get a lot of pressure on Allen, then they're going to struggle. And once you stop Josh Allen, you basically stop the entire team. That defense is still bad. Harrison had a concussion. I believe Spencer Brown had an arm in a sling, and it's just not looking good for Buffalo right now. So I have the Steelers winning this game, but I'm not 100% confident. And then for Sunday night, why the fuck is this a Sunday night game? I mean, if they wanted to be fruity, they could have honestly switched this game with the Bills Steelers if they wanted to. We've got the Broncos versus the Commies. Why is this a Sunday night game? This game is going to be fucking bad, dude. It really is. Both these teams came off of a bye, and the Broncos are going to win. I don't really need to say much more about it because, again, why is this a Sunday night game? I don't understand. and I don't want to understand it. Yeah, I'm going with the Broncos. That's it. That's literally all I gotta say. I'm not gonna talk about this game furthermore. Then for the Monday night game, this one actually looks good on paper. We've got the New Jersey Giants versus the New England Patriots. The Giants came away with a pretty damn good game against the Detroit Lions. Famous Seamus had himself a actually pretty damn good game. And I will say that if their defense wasn't as ass as it was, they would have won that game, really. But good news, Giants fans, Shane Bowen has been fired. So I guess that's a plus. I don't really know at this point. But yeah, the Giants right now, they're what, 2-10, and they've been eliminated from the playoffs. But they don't look like a 2-10 team. That's the thing. Like, yeah, their record is not as bad as the team itself, really. Mainly that's been bugging them has been the injuries in the defense. Everything else they've been fine with. Like, had Dart, Scatabo, and especially Neighbors been injured, they would honestly be like a 7-6 win team at this point, but unfortunately they're not. Meanwhile, New England, you got the win, but at what cost? My God, everyone got hurt in that game. Well, Campbell suffered, I believe, an MCL sprain, which is not good, but it's not bad either. They're without a couple linemen. Some other O-line got worse. Sorry. That was like a little hang now. But yeah, some other O-line got worse, which I don't know how the hell that's possible, but it did. But while Drake May didn't play the greatest of games, they still won the game, and that's all that really matters. So I'm actually curious how this game is going to go, because I do think this could honestly be a sneaky close game, all things considered. But I think New England's going to get the victory here. I don't see the Giants really winning this game, per se. If they win, I wouldn't be too upset about it. But I just hope we have a good Monday night game, dude. We need one of those, especially the past few weeks. So, yeah, the Giants are going to lose, but I think they're going to make it somewhat of a close game. And that, folks, concludes Week 12 of, or actually, Week 12. Yeah, Week 12 of the NFL predictions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. No, Week 13. Fuck, I'm stupid. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long week. Oh, man. I got a lot of stuff going on in life right now. But yeah, that is Week 13 predictions for 2025. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Who do you think is going to win? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you guys leave a like, leave a comment, tap that big red subscribe button, and tap the bell so when I upload, you guys will be notified. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Most importantly, join the herd. Talk to you guys in the next video. Peace out.